They gather on this day for a unique cause, to call attention to heart defects and complications in our youth, many who don't even know it. The intent is to bring awareness that you might be living what seems like a normal, healthy life, not knowing you have a heart condition. Part of the process is teaching what happens when you see someone go into cardiac arrest, not a heart attack, but a complete stoppage.
First things first, what is cardiac arrest? It's clinical death. Understand that, acknowledge that.
What this reporter found out is that performing CPR is something we can all master.
First thing you want to do, elbows completely straight. Lock your elbows. You don't want to be doing them like this because you're relying on your muscles instead of your bone structure.
Right.
Dead center of the chest. Use the nipple line as a reference. Right in the middle of the sternum is where you want the palm of your hand to go. So you want your palm to be up a little bit. Right about there is where you want your palm to go. Sometimes it works, but there you go.
Locked.
Get straight over that person.
Yep.
Elbows locked. You're going to push straight down.
And never unlock your elbows.
Never unlock your elbows. So you want to push half the thickness of the chest, so halfway down, regardless of patient size. Survival starts with the bystander. 97% of all victims die while waiting for the help. 97% of the time, by the time people like me or the fire department or the ambulance get there, it's too late because the bystander, the person standing right next to that person with the greatest ability to help, is doing nothing.
What brought everyone here today is the story. Just over a year prior, a young hockey player, just a freshman in high school, was playing in a tournament. He collapsed on the ice and died of cardiac arrest.
Patrick is our 14-year-old boy that was becoming, going from being a boy, being an immature young boy trying to figure his way out in life, to becoming a young man, starting to figure things out, starting to have more confidence in himself, starting to appreciate his friendships and appreciate his teammates.
When they lost him, they grieved. They still are. Because Patrick was the epitome of a young man who grew up wanting to make something of his life, who found hockey a place he connected, who had to work to overcome the confidence issues so many face just to make the team. He had done that.
He really committed himself to working hard and being good at the game, because he was talented at it. He just didn't have enough confidence. And so when he really started working hard and setting goals and making himself believe that he belonged there with those older kids and playing on that team at that level, when he made that team, he was beaming. It was so nice to see him so happy with himself because he achieved that goal.
That spirit lives on, and the family wanted to make sure something good evolved from it. So they started a foundation to help those of us that need awareness. They are educating, and they have been educated.
We do feel good because at the end of the day, you know, we're touching lives, and Patrick's touching lives and making a difference. So that's the important part.
Many might be surprised what young people are learning at an early age about health. At Coon Rapids High School, they offer a biomedical program for students from the area's schools. The idea, if you have an interest in the medical field, start to understand it by getting up close to it by your freshman year in high school. They teach by designing hypothetical case studies, and in so doing, make it very real.
Very biology rich. So the freshman course is basically a forensics class. The first day of school, there's Anna Garcia in the back of the class, and she's dead. She had a bad Labor Day weekend, and they noticed there's muddy footprints next to her, there's hair samples, there's fingerprints, a table overturned, some pills, and for 2 trimesters, they try to figure out how did she die. They're doing the fingerprint analysis, hair analysis, DNA of the blood that's there, even blood splatter labs. They're learning all about her medical history. She has diabetes, sickle cell anemia, high cholesterol.
That's the idea, to provide as much on-the-job type training as possible, to allow students to see what the real human body is about and how complicated it is before trying to simplify it.
Biomed is kind of science and healthcare mixed together, so we learn everything from forensic science, which was kind of the first year, and then sophomore year is just anatomy and physiology, and then this year, my junior year, we're really getting into cancer and molecular biology, all the small things behind the big things.
Well, I've had a lot of medical people around me. My mom's a nurse. I have an uncle who's a doctor. My sister's going into the medical field, and I just really liked the hands-on part of the class.
So this day provides an opportunity to put their book work into play, an extension of their classroom, where people can see not from a textbook, but on the simulated front lines.
And it's going to show you exactly where on the body you put them.
Today at Play for Patrick, I've learned a lot. I mean, I already knew a lot of CPR and AED training, but a lot of the people out there have really helped like reinsert that in my brain.
First of all, leadership skills and what it's like to be a medical professional. They're actually seeing what does the heart look like on the inside while the echocardiograms are happening. They're meeting with the cardiologist to hear the medical terms and making sense of it. It's an awesome real-life approach that we try to simulate in our closed environment at school.
But this day is also about being a high school kid, and with that understanding, how quickly Patrick's life was cut short.
It makes me think like anything could happen, like you don't have to look past it or just brush it under the rug until something does happen. You can take preventive measures and, you know, just help yourself, help other people before it gets to the point where you can't do anything about it.
Which is what brings us back to Patrick, because as much as this is a course in biology, it is a lesson in life. In trying to understand and process the unthinkable, and trying to do something good with a tragedy that is so raw and so real.
It feels good. It's like throwing a party. You hope that people show up. So it's a little stressful from that aspect, but seeing the kids come in, seeing the parents come in, and talking to parents as they leave, and showing the appreciation that they have towards our family and our team means a lot.
There is a hope by understanding CPR and the new common AED equipment that lives can be saved by mastering with confidence.
So this guy you'd want to put
Look at pictures on pad.
looks like the picture. So once they're on, they're going to start to analyze.
Touch patient.
So we're focusing on this. This is the one thing we're looking at.
It has become one family's mission as a way of healing, and they have learned in so many different ways.
Losing Patrick, you know, we could take it two ways. We could have a pity party and feel sorry for ourselves, or we could do something about it and make some changes and make Patrick's life worth something.
So they continue to drive the foundation, continue to educate, continue on a mission that is so much bigger than anything or any cause they have experienced, because Patrick matters in so many ways to so many people.
Although it's tough to have these events, you know, it's emotionally draining and challenging, Patrick lives when we do this. And we know he would be super proud. We know he's proud. You know, he's smiling on us right now, and that makes us feel better.
Life to the Max is brought to you by Lifetouch, photography for a lifetime.